It's the pet monster that belongs to that strange guy we ran into at the beach.
That is rather rude, Emile. That man was a dwarf.
And this guy isn't a monster, he's a dog. You think you can move for us, doggy?
I don't think he's a dog.
Leave this to me.
Tenebrae's laughing.
Oh, he moved.
Hey, Tenebrae, what was so funny?
Perhaps some other time. Now then, let us proceed.
He's still laughing.
It's weirding me out.
Oh, you're the kids that were lost.
Thanks for giving us directions.
We heard we might be able to find Lloyd Irving's father here.
You're talking to him. We're not linked by blood, but he's my son.
Have you heard anything from Lloyd recently? We're looking for him.
You? Aren't you ashamed of what Lloyd did in Palmacosta? You're his father.
I'm proud to call Lloyd my son. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. You. If Lloyd had anything to do with what happened in Palmacosta, he wouldn't have just disappeared like that. I didn't raise a man who runs from his own responsibilities. My boy may be a fool, but he's not a bad person.
So have you had any contact with him?
Nope, haven't heard a word. He was on a journey to gather X-spheres, but then he just suddenly came back about 6 months ago. He said he was on his way to save a friend, and he had to travel light. So he left Noish, that animal you saw outside. Haven't seen him since.
I see.
If you kids happen to see Lloyd, give him a message for me, will ya? Tell him Noish is getting lonely, so come home soon.
Tenebrae, what were you and Noish talking about?
Oh, just a humorous anecdote. Last week, when Noish was drinking down by the riverbed, the most unbelievable thing came drifting down the river.
Well, what was it?
That's just it. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Oh, I can't. Oh, it almost hurts.
What is it?
Hurry up and tell us!
Well, you see, it was a... Oh, no, it was nothing, really.
Tell us!
Emile, what's wrong?
He's not related to Lloyd by blood, and yet he really seems like he's Lloyd's father. On the other hand, my uncle was always so ashamed of everything I did.
Emile.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? Paul, one of the village children, has gone missing. Have you seen a boy about 8 years old around here?
Oh, we met him by the town entrance. He said something about going to a haunted ranch.
So he went to the human ranch. Thank you.
The haunted ranch he was talking about was a Desian's human ranch. I hope he's all right.
There aren't any Desians there anymore. I'm sure he'll be fine. Besides, he's an apprentice of the mighty Lloyd, remember?
I understand your grudge against Lloyd, but Paul has nothing to do with that. The Emile I like wouldn't think like that. My Emile is better than that.
Whatever! I don't even remember you. Stop trying to make me into something I'm not. I don't need you telling me who I'm supposed to be.
I'm sorry. I just...
That is... What?
What?
Oh, it's nothing.
nothing.
I wonder if that was too harsh.
Emil must be angry with me.
But Marta refuses to see the real me.
I haven't been paying attention to who Emil really is. Of course he'd be upset. This is all my fault. If I'd just kept an eye on him, I could have stopped him before he left town.
Lilia, it's going to be all right. Professor Sage will find Paul. He'll be fine.
Right. But Professor Sage is a half-elf. I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Stop that nonsense! Professor Sage saved the Chosen! She's a good half-elf. She's nothing like the Desians. She'll save Paul.
Hey, Emil, do you think Raine is that woman we saw earlier?
Yeah, maybe.
She's a half-elf. I wonder if that's why no one went with her to search for Paul.
Huh?
I mean, people are prejudiced against half-elves. I even used to be afraid of them. Way back when.
Half-elf. Prejudice.
I'm going to the human ranch. You and Tenebrae wait here until I get back.
Why?
Even if the Desians are long gone, there are probably monsters. I can't let her go alone.
There's no guarantee you'll meet up with her. I'll go with you.
But Paul is Lloyd's apprentice.
It's okay. You don't have to keep worrying so much about my feelings.
Sorry.
Come on, let's head for that ranch.
What sort of places were these human ranches?
It's where they used to make X-spheres, devices that raised a person's abilities to their fullest potential.
So they were like factories?
From what I heard, they were more like labs for human experiments. The X-spheres were apparently stones, activated by human suffering. So they implanted X-spheres in people, then tortured them in all sorts of ways.
The hearts of men are more terrifying than any monster.
Huh?
Oh, just the ramblings of a spiteful centurion.